Hey everybody, morning. What's going on? Hope we are all good today. Happy Monday. Hope your weekend was fantastic and that you got rest and you're ready to get after it this week. It's gonna be a big week. You got earnings coming up this week. A lot of the huge companies are gonna be reporting, and I think this is kind of what the market is looking for. So we could see some serious movement here. I'm gonna see here what I think we have any major earnings today. Well, Netflix after close. No, sorry, that's tomorrow. Couple banks. Yeah, just a couple banks today after close. Tomorrow will be pretty big. Before open, you got Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, and then after close, you got Netflix. That'll be a big one. And Wednesday for sure. The Nasdaq's reporting, Tesla's reporting. Thursday, you got AT&T. P&G on Friday. So yeah, the big one obviously Netflix and Tesla. And then the banks, you know, I mean that's going to be huge to see where they're all at. Oh yeah, we'll be watching that. This could be interesting for sure. Anyway, moving back to the charts. Need to draw our channels, kind of get some structure going this morning. So mark up your charts, man. First thing in the morning. Obvious range right here. Little downtrend going right here. And this already has a break right here. 2 legs to a new extreme. So that downtrend is played out. And I actually had a nice little setup in here you could have taken. So off this break right here of this channel, off the break, there is a technical second entry short right here. First entry, second entry. You don't want to take that one though, because it is still in this short-term channel. Always make sure you're drawing those short-term channels. They'll keep you out of a lot of traps. But then after this short-term channel had a break and a new high, you have basically this like visual second entry. So there's the first pullback, second right there. So go short below this bar. It's a nice bearish bar below the EMA. Still expecting a new low of this downtrend. So that was a good little trade right there. I was not awake at that point, but if you were, that's solid. And yeah, if you're out there this morning, say what's up in the chat. Let me know how you're doing. Love to interact on this sleepy Monday morning. Morning, Gabe and Johnny. Nice, Gabe. Good. I'm glad you're not jumping into that too fast. That can be tempting, you know, to just get after it. Like, oh man, I'm gonna make so much money, and then lose it. So I'm glad you're approaching that cautiously. That's a good sign for sure. Just go slow with it, man. You know, there's no reason to rush it. Okay, yeah, no, I totally understand. Totally understand. Just jumping in a little too soon. Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned this before, but just maybe trade micros to start off with. Trade one MES to start with, just to get comfortable with actually trading it, you know. And yeah, good. I'm glad that's the plan. Yeah, you don't want to be scared of it, but you also want to approach it cautiously. So that's a good way to, you know, get your feet wet, start to build up that confidence. Once you've proven to yourself that you can be consistent over a while, you know, then maybe add a couple more contracts and eventually do, you know, mini accounts, mini contracts. Wow. Monday morning, man. I'm tired. Morning, Grandpa Roger. Good to see ya. Man, looks like everyone's sleeping in on this Monday morning. I do not blame them for sure. So we should be expecting a bounce right in here somewhere, because again, we had this downtrend, break, 2 legs to a new extreme. That thing is played out. Starting to get a little mini support going right in here, so unless we start getting like a longer term bearish channel, something like this, really should expect a bounce. But I'll keep this up just in case. I mean, could be for sure. But definitely got a little bit of congestion starting to form here. And we're expecting a bounce, but it hasn't happened yet. We also have an EMA cross here. The shorter term is crossing over the longer term, so that could mean that we're going to continue down. We will see. Looking at the 10K. I mean, that definitely looks like the start of a bigger downtrend, right? Well, cool. In that case, let's see if we can get a little push up here and have our correction play out, and then maybe get like a failed second entry long, you know, something like this. That would be cool. I got a feeling right here that we're gonna push below this little support, draw in some bears, and then bounce really hard. All right, let's see if I'm right, guys. Poking below that support. I believe they're gonna draw some folks in on a short here and then bounce it. See, this looks really tempting as a breakdown right now, but given that we already had a downtrend play out, I think you're gonna see a bounce here. Well, that was sufficient definitely to draw in some specs, so we'll see if that reverses or if it's legit selling. I would kind of almost prefer it if it just drops here. Then we could play off this channel. Be a little bit more clean. And we can, you know, get a move down here. And then the second entry short right here. Would be better, I think, than a bounce, which just would indicate, you know, a little bit more choppy action. More range-like behavior. Hey, Greg. I did not, unfortunately, because I was not awake at that point. But I marked it because it was a great setup. High probability trade. And I don't think everyone was here when I was kind of going through it, but basically you had a second entry short right here. First entry, second entry. But that's still in the short-term channel, so can't play that. You gotta hold off. Still expecting a new low of this guy here, though. So you have your break. You're expecting a new low, so gotta be patient on this one, and then you get basically like a visual second entry short. like that. So wonderful pattern. It is right, you know, below the EMA, nice bearish bar. So that's a great high probability trade, and it would have worked out for pretty much how many points is that? Let's see. I would have scalped out at like 2.5 or so. Yeah, and this goes for like 5, so plenty of room to scalp out. Good morning, Pete. Yeah, I would do it again, Johnny, because I actually cleared my cache this morning and reloaded my historical data several times. I'm trying to do that every morning now because yeah, I'm having to do it on stream a couple times. Did not like that, so trying to be part of my morning routine. I mean, ultimately, our candles are not going to exactly be the same. Kind of depends on the data feed you have, etc. But so yeah, they're not ever going to be 100% the same, but hopefully they look close. And if yours are way off, I'd suggest clearing your cache and reloading data. I got all this marked up as if we're going to keep going down. No idea if that's actually the case or not. Again, this downtrend's already played out, so could easily see a bounce here, but want to be prepared. That would be our measured move down here. So prices could definitely reach that area. Hey Jocko, morning. Sorry you're having NinjaTrader issues. Always sucks when technology doesn't work out right. Do you have the new version? Or are you still working on the older one? I should say, do you have the orange version or the red version? So the reason I'm calling it orange and red, Johnny, is that the new version, like they switched all their branding to an orange color rather than red. So, yeah, that's not the official name or anything, but if all the stuff's orange, then that's the new one. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to update if they'll, you know, people are still doing even like NinjaTrader 7 and stuff, but, you know, I kind of like the new one, actually. I don't know, it looks cool to me. Yeah, like here, check this out, guys. Oops. A little screenshot. So this is the new logo right here. Pretty snazzy, huh? So it does look like we are not getting that bounce right there, continuing our movement downwards. Could see a bounce at the measured move here, but if we just kind of blow past that, go test the bottom of the channel, that will be a perfect area to look for a pullback and a second entry short. So that is what I'm hoping for at this point, because again, if we start bouncing, this channel is not going to be valid, and then we'll have to look for more of like a big range type structure. To me, that wouldn't be as clean or as nice. I like the idea of a downtrend here, so I hope that's the case. Of course, you never really get what you want in the market, but you know, one can always hope, right? Where is macaroons? Man. I mean, it's Monday morning. You know, I'm not going to blame anyone for sleeping in today. Morning, Toad. Open in 2 minutes, guys. Here we go, baby. It's gonna get real. And we will find out whether this is legit or not. Yeah, boy. Looks like here comes the bounce. I'm gonna have to be deleting some channels here pretty soon, it looks like. Oh baby, is this about to get bearish? Come on now, let's go. Opening bell, let's see. Let's see what we got. Again, should be a pretty nice week because of all the earnings, so we should hopefully see some good movement, some good volume in the market. don't want to get my hopes up and be disappointed, but that should happen. Should happen at least. This technically would be our second entry here. I think it's way too late for a second entry. I think that's gonna trap some folks. And if you don't know what I'm seeing, from the low here, pull back first entry, pull back second entry. EMA is holding prices though. This could work. That's a big lower high to confirm that second entry. And again, I think you don't know that this channel's valid yet. We never reached the bottom down here. We have not reached our measured move. You already had a break and new low of this channel. So I think you got to be a little bit cautious in this area. Looks like that probably would have worked already though. No, not quite. Oh yeah. Yeah, it would have worked. I would have scalped for 2 points. Oh wait, maybe not. Nope. Because I would have been going for... Yeah, let's see. No, I would still be stuck in this sucker. Well, good. I always love it when trades don't work out. Trades that I didn't take, rather. Oh, I'm sorry, Johnny. Well, in that case, I really hope it worked for you. But it's a late second entry. You know, given all the other circumstances, I don't think it's one you want to take. I'm rooting for you, though. Yeah, sorry, dude. Yeah, I mean, the bar from EMA is definitely one thing. But also, again, like, if you don't have this channel, that doesn't look like a huge downtrend, you know? You know, if it was closer to the EMA, it might have been a little bit more tempting because we didn't get a bounce in here after the break and new low of this move. So, I mean, you can start to think about that wider channel, but right at the open too. Like if I'm gonna take a trade at the open, it's got to be a really nice one. Another possible little congested area right here. Especially if we turn down now. Oof, man, oh man, short's getting punished here. So I think I am going to likely delete this downtrend here. As I think this was the main channel here. We had a break, new low, now we're bouncing. I think that is what is actually going on here. Trying to figure out a way how to draw this though. Maybe something like this. Maybe even get a big channel, or sorry, a big range. But I could consider a long here. Definitely got a strong push up. If we have a nice second entry long that forms right by the EMA, I'd consider taking that for sure. Well, if anything that I've said has been of value to you this morning, please like the stream. Be encouraging to me, help the algorithm, all that, etc., etc. Or if you just like kicking it, you know, that maybe what I'm saying isn't of value, but maybe you just like kicking it. Give it a like for that too. Hey Jocko, good question. No, I mean I definitely, Mac was an influence for sure. Him and sorry, Al Brooks would be the main ones. So, and then I've also had a couple other mentors that have taught me price action. And so a lot of influences, but obviously some of Mac's like specific rules, and using the 2000 tick chart. I don't think anyone else really uses that. So yeah, some of that format obviously came from him, but I've had a lot of good influences price action wise. And a lot of just screen time too. One thing I do, I still do actually, and I would encourage anyone else who is, I mean anyone really, if you're learning or if you're already consistent, one way to practice and continue to improve your skills and get better is reload a chart from a random day. Pick a random day and reload the chart. Don't look at it. I always like on NinjaTrader, I'll go to playback. I'll completely flatten my chart so I can't see anything. Reload the day, go back to the very beginning, and then just, advance one bar at a time. And try to do exactly what I'm doing. You know, mark the channels, and then when I see a trade that I would take, I mark it, and then I advance through and see if it would have worked out or not. And I actually keep track of my stats on these training exercises, and that is a good way to get a lot of screen time in, with kind of cram it into a short amount of time, because you know, obviously if you're going to practice your skills on a day like today, it's going to require hours and hours and hours, and a lot of it is just sitting and waiting around for things to happen. So being able to reload an old chart and do it in whatever, like 30 minutes, you get 8 hours worth of chart time in 30 minutes. So highly recommend that to anyone who is learning, practicing, or even consistent, just wants to keep growing their skills. That for sure has been I think one of the most instrumental things for me, because then it's instant feedback, right? Like, oh, this trade looks good. Oh shoot, that didn't work out. Why didn't that work out? Causes you to analyze things a lot. So if you're not doing that, man, do it for sure. And yeah, Jocko, I think definitely, you know, at the end of the day, you can learn from a lot of folks, but at the end of the day, it's going to be you and the chart. You know, you're going to, at some point, you're going to have to kind of own your own stuff. And yeah, your style's never going to be exactly the same as someone else. So you'll end up kind of morphing things that you learn into your own style. And as long as you've got an edge and you know what it is and you execute it, do you have an edge? You know, that's something to ask yourself. Do you have an edge? Your stats show it. Obviously there's like the, you know, just the learning curve of actually executing and stuff, but you know, if you go through your stats and say rule out some of the most, you know, just mistakes or whatever, gambles or things like that, like the trades that where you're actually following your setup and everything, has that got an edge to it? Has that been proven? Anyway, I digress. So our little move up here already has a break and a new high, so expecting another move down. Let's see what we got, guys. Price is turning down right at the same level right around here, so it's starting to be some resistance forming there, it looks like. Kind of hanging out in the lower half of our range. I'd consider a failed second entry long here if it forms, right? Also a little support right here. Okay, so there's our first entry long. I'm just wondering what this would look like if we widened it a little bit. I don't think that works. Okay, so there's our first entry. See if we can get a second one right here. Might consider it. And when I say I might consider it, I'm talking about a failure, right? I'm not talking about the actual second entry. because we already had, of this move up, already had a break and new high, so you're not looking for a long anymore. And then we had a move down, first entry long. It would have happened right here, second entry long, trap some early bulls, well, some late bulls actually, and then take that failure down. But I don't know, it looks like we may be moving too low for that. It's got to really form right here on this bar, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like we're just going to drop down. Maybe if we can get a second entry short here, that'd be cool. Break out of this range, pull back to the EMA. Second entry, expecting a new low. Ooh, yeah. You're totally right, Brant. If this bar right here was the second entry, that would have been a beautiful lower high right at the EMA. Nice bearish bar. See, that's one thing we were talking about Mac. I'm pretty sure he would mark that as a trade. He likes to take those like break into extreme lower highs. Sometimes he'll even trade the break into extreme bar there. So I don't like to do that, but it feels a little bit aggressive for me, not as high probability. And maybe it's just that I haven't put enough years in to this. Maybe after several years down the road I'll be able to trade those confidently, but I prefer to wait for the second entries on those things. But yeah, anyway, what Brant was saying, you can look at this as the second entry, right? Because you got from the low here, first entry, boom, second entry short, and then this is the lower high that confirms it. If you saw that and were ready to trade it, I think that's a good setup, either one of those. Yeah, totally, Brant, agreed. If the new extreme isn't a second entry, then you should wait for the failure. I agree on that. Usually the new extreme will be a second entry though, because that's kind of the nature of a breakout and a new extreme, right? It's like one leg, breakout, new extreme. So usually that will be a second entry. Problem is, typically second entries, you're wanting to start counting from, in a move down, in a downtrend. And when you do play it like that, you're counting from the bottom of an uptrend, so it's a little bit different. So yeah, I mean, it just really depends on context. I think right here is great context because there is a lot of resistance right here. We're not in an obvious trend day, so we are playing the shortened channels. Anyway, I think we might get a second entry here. That would be cool. Again, that's what I'm looking for. There's our first entry. Come on, baby. Give us one more entry here. Nice clean setup. Let's go. Gotta stay right around here. We can't go too higher. See how this forms here. One tick higher, now turn down. Oh man, well, that's not working. Well, that is why we wait for second entries. Maybe if we get the second entry, I can consider a lower high to confirm. But now I'm a bit wary of this possible wider channel here. This has any chance, we really got to turn down here. So zooming out, I mean, definitely a range structure. Might be able to just look at kind of the lower half of this range, play that, looking for a cell like right around this level right here. There's our second entry. Obviously can't play that. Let's see if we get a nice looking lower high. And if the lower high doesn't look good, yeah, probably ought to wait on the failed second entry long. Just got to push below the EMA as well. I think that's what we're gonna have to do, because this correction channel was pretty strong, looked pretty nice, so you might get a break and new extreme of that. So don't want to get short too early and then have, you know, go short here and then all of a sudden have that do a new extreme before moving down. So let's just wait on this one till we get some more info. Yeah, Jocko, exactly. A second leg up for sure is possible. When your correction's that strong, that often will happen. But that would be a great sell right here. If we can get two nice equal legs up, that'll be a great sell. But I also don't want to go long expecting that, because we had this nice move down that never got a new low. So kind of two conflicting patterns here. So this would be the lower high off of that second entry short if it forms. Yeah, this is a good area just to not trade. Two conflicting patterns. Possible middle of the range. No bueno. But I am looking for this area right here to act as resistance, which is the bottom of the range overnight, and then price is rejected off there once, here almost again, so expecting some more resistance right there. We'll look at that area for a sell. If it sets up nice, of course. Everything pending, always. Wow, there we go. Look at that. Good thing we held off, huh? This looks like news. What do we got going on? Nothing. So, yeah, I mean, this is also, hey, look. Earnings seasons, guys. You get some early report on one of those companies. That can send the market into a tailspin. I'm trying to see, again, which companies are reporting today. Again, just some banks. First Bank, Pinnacle, ELS, all reporting after the close today. I'd look at me, might want to look at some of those tickers and see if they're taking off or dropping. That could give you some indication as to the reason for this movement here. So we do technically have our new low right here of this down move, so that is technically played out. In order to play that, you would have had to either take this sketchy second entry short or that lower high, which is above the EMA. Still didn't get a new extreme of this correction, so that would have been a bad trade, honestly. Would have worked out, but would not have been good. I'm seeing on one of the news tickers, China warned of major military action in the Yellow Sea on Tuesday. Market could be reacting to that as well. And now we got a new high of our correction, so price action a little bit crazy, but playing out at least. Even if something sets up right now, guys, I think this is a good time to just sit on your hands. Obvious volatility coming into the market. This is one of those times you can just get a surprise candle out of nowhere, so I would wait. Even if something sets up nice, I think you want to kind of wait until this settles down a little bit. Unless you like to gamble, then by all means, throw an order out there, see what happens. This is a technical second entry short here. From the bottom, first entry, pull back, second entry. Playing the fire on that one for sure. You got this possible, you know, some sort of bullish channel forming here. Man, this just feels super, super dangerous in either direction right here, guys. I really hope you are heeding the warning and just sitting on your hands. This can get really ugly in one way or another. Get these massive whippy candles, right? Whip down, whip up, and now we're just like consolidating. That's scary stuff. It's like calm before the storm. Here we go. A second entry short worked, but you'd have to have some cojones of steel to try that one. Well, now we definitely are in, you know, this bottom half of the range here, with prices turning down that third time. Might move this even down a little bit. Oh, anyway, let's see if we get any resistance here at the bottom. I got a feeling this is just going to, the bottom's going to drop out of this thing, but if we do get any resistance here at the bottom, that could set up a nice buy. Let's mark our channel here. Could be a wide one like that. I suspect it might be a wide one, but we'll stick to the short one for now. See how things develop. So typically in a range, you know, you would want to buy the lows of the range and sell the highs. However, this is a nice strong looking move down. We get a pullback and a second entry short right in here. I'd take that. I don't want to see us touch the bottom of the range first though. like we're about to do. Yeah, so definitely won't play short now. We're too close to the bottom. What I'd rather see is a break, a new low, and then a nice bullish bar right in here. Maybe even a failed breakout and then a higher low. That would be tradable. Hey Matthew, good to have you. Good morning. The price action has been pretty predictable so far, except for this weird whipsaw kind of action right in here. It looked like some sort of news hit, and yeah, prices just kind of whipped around. But yeah, other than that, pretty straightforward. Haven't really had any setups, except for this guy here, this visual second entry short. That was way too early for my blood. Would have been like 5:15 my time. That's when my alarm, yeah, no, I was still sleeping. My alarm was gonna go off pretty soon. Okay, so we have a break of our down channel here. We'll see that new low. Give me a nice bullish bar. Give us a chance to go long here. This is somewhat tempting as a buy right here, but you could also easily get two legs, because this is our first leg. We could easily get one more push to a new low, so I think I'm gonna hold off on this, even if the bar looks nice. And we've, hitting support right here for sure, but we still have this support down here from earlier, from this bottom right here. So gosh, I really want to see prices test that before I consider going long. Here we go, baby. Let's push lower. See if we can get a nice failed breakout. Boy, this just looks nasty in here, really stacked. Really big bars too. I really want to see us test these lows here. If we just bounce up from here, that's gonna suck. As it's bouncing, of course. And the reason I say this is I just can't feel confident taking a long here when you have whatever that is, like a half a point to get to the lows. You're in an obvious range. Like, let's test the lows, man. Come on. Don't bounce like half a point above it. That's weird. I think I'm going to delete this wider range because we are obviously in kind of this lower half here. If we start to bounce above that, then I'll draw it wider, but this is a lot more accurate as to what's happening today. So now that we're in just purely a range structure, again, trying to buy the lows and sell the highs. That's the name of the game. But you just gotta make sure that it, you don't want to just blindly buy those. It's got to set up nicely. So short-term trends have to be played out. You gotta have a nice signal bar. Ideally, wait for a higher low or lower high confirmation. Then it turns into a really high probability trade. So right now, our most recent move was this guy. I have a break. I want to see that new low. And then we can buy, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Looks like we might just end up bouncing from here. Yeah, so it looks like we likely will not get a new low of that move down. You had that break. It pushed to like an equal low, so sometimes that's what prices do. Now we gotta just continue with the most recent price action. Right now we got this channel working up that has a break. So look for that to get to a new high and then hopefully we get some resistance right around here and get a reason to sell. Is anyone out there taking any trades today? I feel like there just really has not been much of an opportunity. Maybe this guy. Maybe this guy, because he had that break a new high. That technically was, from this swing at least, a second entry short. And then you had that lower high. So those were decent setups. Kind of aggressive. Not for me, but if you were reading that right, this could have been good. And then, of course, the one from, you know, if you're awake here, you live on the East Coast or somewhere else where that's not at dark 30. Yeah, exactly. Nevo. Yep, agreed. I like those too. They're just a little too aggressive. Our good friend RTY. The old Russell. Okay, so now we are getting that new high here off our correction channel. Break new high. Unfortunately, we want it to be up here, but we'll see. We don't want to see too strong of a move up to the top, then we will not be able to short it. You don't want to short strong moves, but if it's a choppy, you know, drift up to the top of the range, that's totally fine. See what we get here. Thank you, Brent, for calling out that measured move. Yep, that gets right to the top. That would be a perfect failed breakout if we can get there. We do already have our first entry short. If you're going to look at it from the bottom of here, first entry pullback. So the next candle that goes lower will be our second entry. I won't take anything if it doesn't get up to the top here or a failed breakout. I'm not going to take a trade right in here. It's too sketchy. Unless perhaps if we get, you know, that second entry short, like this, and then a lower high, lower high confirmation like so. Okay, here we go. This is getting a little bit more interesting. We did make it to the top of the range. I'm gonna check, and yeah, I'm looking for a sell for sure, but it's got to set up right. I'm also eyeing that this might be that kind of does look pretty nice. You're gonna draw this wider channel, so that has me. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that. Because if we keep this wider channel, you don't want to take a short until you get a break and new high of that. But if we have it skinnier, this is our break and new high. Oh gosh, I'm not really sure how to draw it there. I'm gonna err on the side of caution and have this wider channel, because it does look like it is fitting quite nicely. George, by the way, I don't think I've seen you in here before. Welcome. Good to have you. Glad you're hanging out with us. And we may just get a drop here with no way to enter. That looks like trap some shorts there, likely. Okay, we're starting to get a break of this wider channel, so that's good. That will give me a lot more confidence if we can, especially if we can get, you know, a really solid break and then a move up here. That will give me a lot of confidence to go short. And again, our measured move already reached. That's not really a convincing break of that channel. Now that's a better looking break there. Come on, baby. Let's get one more push up and a bearish bar. No real way to get short there, even if you are playing the shortened channel. Not even a solid bearish bar. Cool, so we definitely got our break of that, even the wider channel now. So I want to see one more push up, ideally right here, right into here, with a nice bearish bar. I want to lure in some bulls here who think we're going to get a breakout, and they get the door slammed on them. The more tempting it looks for the other side, the better the trade is. So I want this to look pretty nice for the bulls. Briefly here, I haven't looked in at the 10K in a while. And it is telling the same story, little range. I move this down just a little bit to match the 10K. Doesn't really matter. Okay, here we go. So we got our break. Maybe moving to a new high here. I will likely wait for a lower high confirmation, even if we get a nice failed breakout. A couple days ago on the stream, I took a failed breakout and lost because I didn't wait for the lower high. So I'm going to learn from some past trades here. It was a good reminder of like why I usually wait for confirmations on things. If you want to trade more aggressive, that's fine. You know, I don't really prefer that. Hasn't proven itself to be worthwhile to me, P&L wise or like mentally, emotionally wise either. But we did get that win on Friday, I believe it was. So the account is up. We're good. I almost have a full drawdown. So we're in a good spot. We just need to wait for the right setup. And there we go, without any way to enter. So yeah, if you want to also do an evaluation account challenge with me, try to get funded. Again, Apex is doing that just freaking ridiculous sale, 90% off. Oh, I'm not drawing. 90% off down here. Check it out. It's only gonna go for another couple days. 90% off, like, why not at that point? It's what would that be, like maybe $17 for a 50K account, something like that. So if you've been thinking about going the funded route, thinking about trying Apex, now would definitely be the time. Take advantage of that. Get a couple accounts. It's going to be recurring 80% off after the first month. So yeah, super good deal for sure. And we will see if I can get another account funded live on stream. We'll see. Oh no. Sorry, Johnny. I've definitely done that before when my order and like in my order quantity, it's already set at like 4 or something, and then I think I switch over to MES, forget to switch it down to 1 contract. Pete, good question. Would I trade a larger account differently? Yeah, a little bit. If I had like the 300K account, I'd probably take a couple more aggressive setups. Like I might take something like this in a larger account. Yeah, I mean, in general, the thing is, like, I'm also trading all of my live accounts right now at the same time. So I don't personally want to be too risky, even if I have a large drawdown on an account, because, like, this is just how I trade in general, is really being patient, waiting for the best setups, and trying to execute. That's my style. So I might get slightly more aggressive if I had a larger drawdown, but also, like, I'm just trading my live accounts too, so I don't want to throw my money at stuff that isn't high probability. But yeah, I mean, with a larger account, you have a little bit more wiggle room. Right now, trading 4 mini contracts on a 1500 drawdown 25k account is threading the needle for sure. Looks like the second entry long worked there. From the highs here, you had your first entry pullback, second entry. I was definitely not looking for a long trade, that's for sure. Oh, you took the second entry long, dang. That is definitely aggressive. You got to be careful of that stuff. You're at the top of the range. You don't want to look for a long up here. You got to be, if you're in a range, you got to be short biased when you're up here. And then if you're down here, you got to be long biased. It's kind of a little backwards, right? Like, you get this nice move up and you're thinking, oh man, we got to get continuation. But I'm telling you, range structure, it'll just fake you out. Think it looks good, and then all of a sudden you get a candle like this, bam. Yeah, for sure, Johnny. Impatience will kill you. For sure. Just remember that we trade to make money. We don't trade just to trade, so once you can make that switch, it's very freeing. Like, you know what? I don't need to take a trade to just out of boredom. And if you want to, switch to sim. Don't risk your money on something just because you want to take a trade. Just switch to sim. If you want the fun of executing a position, man, go for it. Yeah, you need to punish yourself. Unfortunately, that can be the case. We need to feel the pain before we actually change. Brant, yeah, I can see how you might want to take a second entry long here if it forms nice. For a small scalp, right? Like if you're holding above the EMA, you still have room to the highs. If that would have formed really nice to me. I mean, that didn't really form great. The signal bar was bearish and everything, but yeah, I wouldn't. Look, it's all context, right? And it really depends on how things set up. So it's not a hard and fast rule for me that I will never go long if we're in a range and we're up here. I mean, that's for sure not how I think. You have this nice move up in a range, and it has just a great looking, classic second entry long above the EMA. Yeah, I'll take that for sure. Totally, Jocko. Yeah. This visual failed second entry long can look really tempting right here. Boom, first entry. Boom, second entry. Nice bearish bar. Oh man, right at the EMA, that looks so tempting. But yeah, middle of the range. So much junk can happen in here. I appreciate that call out of, you know, some good habits. And the thing is, it might work, right? But even if this trade works, it does not mean that it was a good trade. A lot of bad trades work out. But if you take them, you know, this is a long game. You're in for the long haul, so you got to think about what setups are actually going to produce results over weeks and months and years. Things may work out, but that doesn't mean they always will. Well, prices did exactly what we thought they were going to do. Came up here, tested the high, and then went down. We just didn't have really a way to get in on that. Nice, Brant. Passed another challenge. Good work. That setup scares me for sure down here, like Jocko was saying. But I mean, it is sound as far as price action rules. You had a failed second entry, lower high confirmation. I just don't like taking setups in the middle of the range. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, if you have other confirmation, that can certainly aid in your decision making to take something like in the middle of a range or something. Here we go. Strong move down. Not looking to fade this. This definitely looks like it could be a breakout. Because look, you can play range rules for a long time. You know, buy the lows, sell the highs. But at some point, this range will break. And when you have a strong, swift move down like that, that's the kind of action that can break a range. Yeah, everyone throw some love in the chat for Brant getting funded on another 50K account. That is awesome. That's awesome. It'd be really cool if everyone in this chat could be funded. That's an awesome goal. Yeah, totally. Here's my advice, Brant, on the trade copier. If you're scared of it having issues or whatever, what I do, because I've had there's been a couple times where like one account gets filled and one doesn't. Just have your positions window up on NinjaTrader. Yeah, just always have your positions window up in a place that's easily accessible, and then you can monitor it, and so it'll show you every account and everything. And if one of them gets filled and one of them doesn't, and all of a sudden you're short in one account that you don't want to be, just close it out. Just nuke it right away. Just be ready for it. That's pretty much what I do. Like, I just always have that window up. It's always there, and when I take a trade, I check it out. When a trade closes, I check it out, make sure that I'm flat. If I'm not, for whatever reason, it's just simple to just close it out. And I've never lost money on that. Maybe a couple bucks here and there, but nothing legit. Yes, go to Control Center. like if you're just in your main window, just click the arrow. There's like a little plus sign down at the bottom on the tabs. And then you can, yeah, just select positions. So here's that breakout, just like we suspected. Not fading this, not gonna go long on this one. This looks legit. So yeah, exactly, Brand. Duplicate that positions in a new window. Just keep it somewhere where you can see, and then you're good to go. Like I said, I have personally never had trade copier issues that led to, you know, a big loss or anything. Sometimes there's one account that's open or a couple accounts that's open. Just right click, flatten everything, good to go. Lose a couple bucks maybe, but I've never had anything crazy. Okay, let's see if we get a second entry short here. Gotta make sure that this breakout area holds. Gotta stay below that. Want a nice clean second entry. And it would be great if the EMA could catch up a little bit, and it could happen right at the EMA. So we'll be watching this for sure. This could still be a failed breakout, right? We still could push back into the range and continue higher. So I am watching for that, and that's why this level is so important right here. If we push below, or sorry, if we push above, then I'll be looking for a failed second entry short. And if that level holds, then I'll just be looking for the regular second entry short. So just watching prices to see whether or not this looks more like a failed breakout or more like a legitimate breakout that's going to have continuation. Good morning, Gary. And yes, it has been a good morning. Not a lot of setups. There was one before I was awake. And then the range has been really consistent, really predictable. It just hasn't had the right bars formed to, give me an opportunity to trade it. Okay, so we already have our first entry short right here. Pull back. This would be our second entry short. It's a little bit iffy for me. This is a pretty strong looking bar. Makes me think that we will get back into the range, so definitely pushing up now. This could be a trap area for sure. More inclined to play the failed second entry short here. And this channel may be like this, you know, which you already have your break and new low. I don't know, it feels a little risky to play the second entry or the failed second entry short here. I would, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I think if you decide to play that, it's not a bad trade. Oh, now it is because it turned out bearish, but that would have turned out bullish. That would have been pretty tempting, to be honest. Just a little bit unclear as far as what's happening here. So there's our second entry short that is officially failing. Maybe a higher low that confirms that. So again, if you're not seeing it from the bottom here, pull back, first entry short, pull back, second entry short, that is failing. We can get a higher low right here, right at the EMA, right at the bottom of this range. You can take that for a long. Just feels like it's going to push up though without giving that setup. We'll see. Nice, Jocko. I'm glad y'all are getting trades. That's awesome to see. Brant passed his eval. Jocko's getting trade. I'm surprised Gary's not up like, you know, $6,000 all, you know, from overnight. The pre-market ninja. Come on, baby. Push lower, give us a nice higher low. Oh man, Gary, I didn't know you're still in the moving process. Well, best of luck to you for sure. Yeah, this is gonna take off without us here. That has been the story of today. Very predictable price action with no entries. All day long, man. This move down. Hey, it has a break and new low. Let's look for a long. It's just got to set up right. Brrp. Okay, never mind. Okay, well, we're at the top here. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Okay, break. Push. We're pushing to a new high. This is looking good. Just need a nice bar to go short. Nope. Brrp. And here again. Oh man, this looks like a breakout. You know what? Maybe not. It's got to break a new low. Could get a nice failure here. Just got to get a nice setup. Brrp. That's okay. I'm not salty about it at all. It's nice that price action is being predictable today. Has not always been the case recently. Yeah, I'm looking at the 5 minute. That looks pretty good. I would have liked to see the wick below. You know, if I want to take a failed breakout, I want, you know, say here's our breakout line. I don't want to take a bar like so. I don't want this to be my entry because the wick is not the lowest point. I would want a bar like this to be my entry. On the 5 minute, this one's bearish, so I wouldn't want to play that one. This one's bullish, but I want to see that tail at the low. Just these little nuances, you know, things that I have found yield better results if I just kind of be a little bit more picky. So this is totally acting like an overshoot here, so I think we drew that channel perfectly. Overshoot, now pushing lower. Okay, let's see if we can get a failed second entry long, or perhaps a second entry short. This could be where the bottom falls out of this sucker. We had a failed breakout here. You would expect prices to get up to the top of this range. They're not doing that. Pushing below the EMA, below the range. These are the kind of clues that you need to watch that say that we might have a significant drop here. True, Gary. That is a good point, that this break, you know, you have this up channel, you have a break, it needs a new high. However, when you have a overshoot, that can often negate that, and you can just see a complete reversal without even an attempt at a new high. So yeah, it could happen, but I don't need it to happen in order to play a short. We do not even have our first entry yet. So far, this is just a V reversal. Let's see what the 10K looks like. Wait, is that the 10K? No, it's not. Oh man, look at that on the 10K. That looks like a beautiful breakout pullback short right there. That's a great looking trade. I sometimes might experiment with just trading the 10K chart because there's a lot of, I mean, they're bigger moves. You have to risk more. I might start practicing it though on paper just to get a feel for it. Start off with micros. There's a lot of things on here that just work out really well that you can't always see on the 2K. And, you know, I mean, they're bigger moves, a little bit more of like a intraday swing. I'm really curious about that. This looks like it might even have a breaking new low here already. We still don't have even our first entry long here. But since we have a break right here and a new low formed on this down move, if we get a push up here back into the range above the EMA, I could even consider a second entry long. But always got to be cautious. This could be the downtrend right here. So this is, you know, when you have two conflicting ideas, again, this up channel has a break, could get a new high. This down channel has a break, could get a new low. That's when you know, either just skip it entirely or look for other clues like how are prices reacting around the EMA. You know, how are the candles forming? Things like that. How fast are they forming? But now that we have, yeah, I think this is too conflicting for me. I will likely just wait here. $41.57. Gary, I'm checking a look at that. Okay. I could see that. If it retraces down to this level and holds, that'd be good confirmation of like a double bottom. Bounce up. Oh, Gary, I hate that when you make a nice trade and then it ends up being on sim. That is the worst. Okay, let's see if we can get a pullback and a second entry long before it makes a new high. Do not want to see this go any higher, because then that will mean that this channel is likely played out. So it's got to stay right here, go lower, give us a second entry. Got to look nice. I mean, if you're on sim, you know, this whole thing over here is blue or whatever typically, so that usually alerts me. But yeah, that'd be kind of cool, like a big watermark that says sim. Definitely wouldn't be distracting. So here's the thing on the 10K, like I said, hey, look at that breakout pullback. Well, that might get stopped out here, so that's why I just don't know if I would trade the 10K or not. I'm interested to try it out and practice, but this would really have me sweating right now if I had entered right here. Now we get this pullback. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a good idea, Gary. Yeah, this is just getting kind of weird in here for sure. Yep, agreed, Jocko. Prices had 2 chances to get back into the range and start making some bullish progress, and that has not happened. This move up, nothing, got rejected. Second move up, nothing, got rejected. So I'm getting more bearish for sure. See if a second entry short can form here. And I'm feeling a lot better on that breakout pullback trade on the 10K. You also have a second entry short forming on the 10K here too. It's really low, but I think that is the wisest decision, Gary, not to do anything. Because yeah, this could just be a small little lower range here. Gonna need some more info for sure. The EMA is flattening out as well, so that's giving you a sign. If this didn't already make a new low here, I'd be inclined to take a second entry short. Well, it didn't make a new low, but it made equal lows, so. And then again, EMA is flat. This technically is your second entry long right here. From this high. It's a crazy one, but you got to pull back. First entry, pull back. Second entry. 10K definitely looking stacked now. You see that? Take that trade. Take that trade right there. Gary, I'm really sorry to hear that about your brother. Man, that's really tough. That's really tough. Yeah, I mean, I've had difficult experiences with my brother as well. He disappeared like 3 years ago. We have no idea. 4 years ago now, I guess. No idea where he is. No idea if he's alive or what. So, yeah, man, I know what that's like. So, really sorry for you. I'll be praying for your family. Yeah, looks like that second entry long worked there. Dylan, I'm glad you got in on that. I don't know, dude. This is just way too up and down here for me. It's hard to know whether the second entry long or short is the better play. But when both the second entry long and the second entry short look good, that's when you know you're in trouble. Well, guys, again, if this stream has been of any value to you, please like it. It'd be an encouragement to me. And yeah, it's been great, hanging out with you guys in the morning. I think I'm gonna kind of wrap it up here. Especially since we don't have any, legit looking potential. This is just kind of a mess in here. Really could go either way. I would not be surprised if we get a bounce that confirms this range at this point, or if we just drop into the nether region. So pretty indecisive area. When you get this kind of stuff, man, hold off. Don't risk it. Wait till something better forms. That's more high probability, because this is turning into very low probability trading. So hope y'all stay safe out there. Trade wisely, be patient, wait for the best setups. Again, thank y'all for being here, and we'll catch you tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Take care, everyone.